everybody's always so down on the Grinch.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
And I understand that. But one of the questions that I've often asked myself is whether the Grinch himself might be feeling kind of down. You know, when people think about depression, they often think about people being sad. But that's not always how depression expresses itself. Sometimes people who are depressed might get really irritable and really grumpy, and they can really withdraw socially. And these are some of the features that we see in the Grinch. You know, one of the things that does happen with depression is, especially with the Grinch, is people don't want to be around him, and he doesn't really want to be around people. So he's not getting a lot of love from the people around him. And I think what we might be seeing is his heart might be shriveling from the lack of love.
Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr.
Well, I'll tell you, sometimes when people get depressed, just the smallest things can get on their nerves. And I think this might be what we're seeing with him. So people, children, activity, noise, all of those things, he has trouble filtering them because he's just so irritable. And I think that might be part of his illness. You know, one of the things that's hard for someone when they're depressed is to be in a situation where everybody else is happy and jolly. And especially around the holidays, you look around and everybody else seems to be feeling the joy, but inside you're just feeling dark and miserable. And it's that contrast between how you're feeling inside and how all those happy people are feeling out there that can really be torture for someone who has depression. Well, I think it is possible that the Grinch's depression has some biological bases. And one of the things that we look at is a lot of the neurotransmitters in the brain. And these are compounds that really help signals move around in your brain and in the rest of your body. And he could have some sort of imbalance that might be contributing to his depression. Another possibility is, since this seems to be worse this time of the year, is he could have a seasonal depression. There are lots of people who get depressed as the days get shorter and fall and winter come. So I'm wondering if there might be a seasonal component to the Grinch's depression. We have a couple options for the Grinch. Get out there, put on your holiday suit, and socialize with people, even if you don't feel like it on the inside. And sometimes doing something that opposite can start pulling a different mood out of you. We might start seeing a little crack in that irritable face of the Grinch. One of the lessons that we can learn is that depression isn't always about sadness. If there is someone in your life who's really irritable and miserable and just not getting any joy out of life, you have to wonder whether they might be being challenged by depression. So have a little compassion, especially around this time of the year, and reach out and see if some of your friends who are not doing well might need some help.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch.